What is up guys, and welcome to another Red Dead Online video. Today I'm talking about the mistakes that I've seen whilst going through the Moonshiner role. These mistakes have been made by myself when I first started this role, as well as I've seen other people making these mistakes whilst they are streaming or just doing YouTube videos. By avoiding these mistakes, we can then be more efficient within the role, which will then make us more XP, and it will also make us more money. If there's any mistakes that you think should be in this list, make sure you leave them in the comment section down below. The first mistake that I've seen players make is players rushing the delivery. With the trader role, we used to get a set amount, and it doesn't matter how long or how quickly you did that delivery because you always got the exact same amount. So with this going into the Moonshiner role, we sort of expected a similar thing, but unfortunately the quicker you do it, the more likely you are to spill moonshine within the back. This wagon is extremely sensitive, so when you're out on deliveries, any type of little bump, whether it be you going over train tracks or maybe you're just going off-road, you will suffer the consequences because this will result in you losing your moonshine, which then results in you losing your money. The second mistake is not doing the bootlegger missions. These bootlegger missions are extremely repetitive. There is about 3 or 4 different types of missions that you can get from these, and you will eventually play through every single one, and if you stick to one location, you will have done them a number of different times. But they are very important. If you're wanting to pursue this moonshine role, you need to buy mash, and every single day mash costs $50. But for every time you successfully complete a bootlegger mission, it will actually take away $10. All you need to do is 4 different bootlegger missions, and this will take it to its lowest point, and it doesn't get any lower than that, and that is at $10. So every time on that day you end up buying mash, it's only costing you $10, and that is for weak, average, or even strong moonshine, because all moonshine costs the exact same amount. Now this does reset every single day, which means you only have to do 4 missions a day for the bootlegger for you to get to the minimum amount, and then if you want to carry on doing this moonshine role the next day, you then need to do the bootlegger missions again to get down to that $10 mark. The third mistake that I've seen is players not adding flavor into their shine. Now this may seem obvious, but I've seen a few players not have the correct resources to do the most expensive shine that they could possibly do, so instead they just ditch the whole thing. Carry on adding shine. If you can't go for the best flavoring that goes for the most amount of money, don't worry about it. Just add some type of flavoring because it still goes for more money than straight moonshine, as well as you also get XP for just adding flavoring, and that is very good XP, especially if you're trying to rank up, especially if you're in the lower ranks for this moonshine role. Another little tip just to be on the side of this, make sure that you are stacking up on the correct resources that you need to put in for flavoring for this moonshine role. Myself, I've actually gone through the catalog to add as many different ingredients into my mailbox that will eventually be used as flavoring for my moonshine. So if there's ever a point I do run out of ingredients that I have on my character, I can just go over to my camp, go to my mailbox, collect everything, go all the way back to my shack, and there we go, we can carry on adding flavoring. The next mistake that I've seen players doing with this moonshine role is that they just focus on this role. It's pretty decent at the beginning, I'm sure most of us have already done it at this point. We want to get into this new role and we want to try and make as much money as much XP as possible, because if we do that, it means we can progress it a lot quicker. But this is a passive income. You can set it up and it does not take too long to set up. You do bootlegger missions, buy the ingredients, and then you're done. That's it, that's all you have to do. You don't need to do anything else. So in the meantime, you might as well focus on other roles. I know it's incredibly hard right now because there's hardly any animals spawning within this game, but what you can try and do is set up the moonshine business, set up the trader business, and then you can spend the rest of your time focusing on either the collector or the bounty hunter, and that way you'll be constantly making money. And the final mistake that I've seen everyone do, including myself, and that is stopping for the revenue agents. Now when you're delivering your batch of moonshine, you will come across one roadblock of revenue agents, and they tend to tell you to stop right beside them, and they take a look at what you're delivering. Now I've seen some people go to these revenue stops and they're actually able to go through without any hassle whatsoever. If you're like me and you're extremely unlucky, you'll go to these revenue stops, and what will end up happening is that they'll find the moonshine and they'll try to shoot you, and you'll barely escape with hardly any of your health left. But no matter which one of those happens to you, it still makes sense for you to stop just outside that roadblock, for you to jump off the wagon, kill all of those revenue agents, loot all their bodies, come back round to the wagon, and carry on with your journey. The reason I'm telling you to stop some distance before the roadblock is because it then means once you get off the wagon, you get into the action, your wagon is nowhere near that action, meaning that no one's gonna shoot it, meaning that no one's gonna spill any moonshine in the back, meaning that you keep all the money that you should be earning. But anyway guys, those are the mistakes that myself, as well as I've also seen other players making whilst going through this role. By avoiding these mistakes, we can make more XP, meaning that you can rank up a lot quicker, get to that rank 20 moonshiner, and then you're able to make more money out of this role. If you think I've missed any major mistakes that everyone has made, leave them in the the comments down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going. So see ya.